You can hear me now with a bit of luck and a bit of good management. We had horrible little gremlins in this system. There's nothing worse than when that happens. But there was no point in me continuing because you really need to hear what this fabulous new product's all about. And so we said, you know what, let's just close it down. Start again. It always works, doesn't it? If it's not working the first time, switch it off, put it on again, and then you're all right. So hello everybody. It's wonderful to be here with you again this fabulous Tuesday evening where I am, morning where you are, I've no doubt, and depending on where you are in the USA, it'll be different times in the morning. But anyway, it doesn't matter because we're here at the Crafty Room at Crafters Companion Towers, and I've got one of our new products that Sarah's going to be bringing for you at the end of March as a little preview so you can see how fabulous it is. This is something that is very close to my heart. I always say that, all product is close to my heart, but these are really unique and different. Now, hands up if you loved our floral layering stamps. My hand's well and truly up because I adored them. This is building on that fantastic concept. So if you've already got your quick dry dye inks, you're going to need them for these new stamps that are coming out. If you haven't, you're getting another opportunity to get them, which is brilliant. But we've got two amazing stamp sets for you. And I just need to show you how beautiful these are by picking up the packets first and foremost. And this first collection I've got to show you is our Summer Garden collection. Now, what are these all about? I'll tell you what these are all about. These are about background layering stamps. So the fantastic results that you got using your floral layering stamps for a focal image, you're now going to be able to layer up 3 different stamps together to get results like that, to build up your fantastic backgrounds. So your first set is the fantastic Summer Garden, where we've got that beautiful flower design you've just seen me showing you there. And then we've got this beautiful floral here, which is, I believe, this one, or this one. It might be this one. Oh, but look out, I'm going to show you the samples. Look how amazing, oh, dropped it, all fingers and thumbs. Look how amazing these samples are with that beautiful layerable texture in the background with those amazing stamps. And you can do them in a monotone way, or you can do them in a really bright and vibrant coloured way. Going to be so many different things you can do with them. So they're the samples, and the first collection you've just seen there, I'm going to stamp all of these for you so you can see exactly what they look like and that lovely floral background. So that is our Summer Garden collection. Okay, collection number 1, Summer Garden, tick. Then you've got collection number 2. And collection number 2 is our Floral Cascade collection. And guess what? It's florals that cascade. Look how brilliant that is. There's something else I need to show you with these in a second, but I just wanted to show you the 2 beautiful designs that we've got first. So those beautiful lilies and that beautiful floral bouquet. And this is the Floral Cascade. All right, now then, how do these work and what do you do with them? Well, you know, the proof is in the pudding, as they say. And I just want to show you first and foremost what it is about these stamps that are absolutely fantastic. So the first thing I'm going to do is just get a piece of our super smooth cardstock, and I'm just lining that up on my craft mat so I know I've got it in that position. So I've lined it up, so I've got it in the 45-degree angle here, so I know it's nice and straight. That's not crucial, but it will help you with your lining up. I've also got my fantastic stamping platform, which you've seen me talk to you about before, with the little sprung legs, and that's been on our HSN as well with our Sarah, and I'm sure, well, I know you loved that in your many thousands because they flew out the door. So I've got that, and if you've already got them, you're good to go. And then of course you're going to need your quick dry ink pads. So I'm going to use, it's Crafters Companion after all, purple. It would be rude not to, wouldn't it? So I've got my 3 colours of purple in my quick dry dye. As they come, I've got my light, my medium and my dark colour. Now, every set of stamps, every packet of stamps you get will have 3, just layering them in the right order because I've been having a little play because they're just too fabulous. You've got 3 stamp sets in them. What those 3 stamp sets will let you do is stamp the first layer, the second layer and the third layer, which gives you that result you can see there. That's the first layer, waiting for layer 2 and 3. I'm going to talk to you about that in a second. This is what it looks like when all 3 of those layers in purple have been laid up. Beautiful 3D full background for your card projects in that brilliant 6x4 size. So perfect for your standard card sizes that you've got over there in the US. Brilliant. So layer 1, layer 2, layer 3. Exactly in the same way as our floral statement images. However, just turning it over the back, isn't this pack, can we just take a moment to appreciate this packaging? Oh, this beautiful little wallet. So when you've finished using them, you can put all of your stamps back in there, 1, 2 and 3, so you know that they're nice and safe and how they should be used. I think that's brilliant. Then on the back, and what I'm going to be showing you is, you don't just have to use them as stamp 1, stamp 2, stamp 3. You can use them stamp 1 and 2 together, stamp 2 and 3 together, stamp 1 and 3 together, stamp 1, 2 and 3 together, which is what happens and you get that. So we're going to be looking at all of the different configurations for each one of these so you can see how they work. And then we might mix a couple up as well and do some different colours. So it's just going to be about a bit of experimentation and letting you see how brilliant the images are when they've stamped. Oh, and bonus, who knows what the word tessellate means? They tessellate. So you can do full big backgrounds with them as well, which is what this is here. This is ready for stamp layer 2. I'll turn it around to show you. This is ready for stamp 2 and 3 because we can tessellate it down a full sheet if we want to and across a full sheet. So it's like fabric stamping. So it doesn't just have to be about one image now. Loads of opportunities with these for you to get really creative with them when you've got them home. So enough talking for now. You really need to see how brilliant they are and how easy they are to use. So I've got my stamp 2 and stamp 3 here. We're going to do all 3 together to start because I want you to see how easy it is to layer up all 3 of these stamps. Now what I've got on my stamping platform here, obviously upside down now, I'm layering up my stamp and I'm choosing a 45-degree angle and I'm making sure that I'm following, so my whole stamp is on that plate, that I'm following that line. It's a square stamp so it makes it easy, making sure that I'm following the grid line nice and straight, and I'll do the same when I put on layer 2 and layer 3, which you'll get it in a nice straight format when I apply it to my paper. So I'm going first of all with my lightest colour of my quick dry dye. Remember that your quick dry dye ink pads are a dye base, and guess what, they dry quickly. So for your layering stamping like this, they're absolutely fantastic. They'll be available on HSN as well in their packets of 3, but if you wanted the full bundle, if you wanted all 36 ink pads, they're going to be available as a web only deal. So you'll be able to get those while our Sarah's on the show there at HSN at the end of the month on a web only deal. Now notice what I'm doing there is I'm using my stamping platform. I've got my piece of white card lined on the vertical lines on my stamping mat. I've got the stamp on my platform nice and straight with the grid lines, and I've just lined that up central on the card so I can see exactly where I want it to go. And now I just need to press that down for my layer 1. Because I've got those brilliant sprung legs, I can hold this down in areas and just make sure that I get a nice depression. So when I pick this up, I've got layer 1 in the perfect place. So I take my layer 1 stamp off the stamping platform. I pop layer 1 back onto my carrier sheet. That's really important because you need to keep them organised so you know which one you're going back to. Then I pick up my layer 2, which is here, peel that off, and make sure my card is still lined up on the vertical lines I chose and the horizontal, which it is. Bring my stamping platform in, line it up in the same place I had it before. Make sure that you've got it on the 45-degree angle of those grid lines there, so you've got a nice straight stamp, which is really going to help you with your positioning. Ink it up with colour 2 of your quick dry dye in these 3 colour configurations. So remember, all of your Harmony ink pads, be it the water reactive or the quick dry dye, come in these colour families of 3 colours, which allow this kind of stamping, your layering and your blending to be done really easily because you've got the 3 perfect colours that work together. Now, because I've got this here, what I can do is line it up to where I had it before, and because I've got this fantastic stamping platform, I can move it till I've got it in the perfect position, my layer 2, which I can see there. It's exactly where I had it before. And I know it's where I had it before, sorry, I'm leaning over so you can see my hair so I can see it. And you need, when you're layering these stamps, you do need to be over the top of it looking. So when I keep doing that, I apologise. I'll lean back so you can see. I know that I had this line in line with the bottom of my piece of card there. So now I know that this is going to be in the perfect position. And I can just push down. And that's my layer 2. Right, I think I've got that a bit off. That's because I was leaning over it. So I'm going to do that again. Do you know what? There's no point in doing a job if you're doing it half-hearted. Look at that. Perfect the first time, off on a tangent the next time. Typical. So let's start again with a new piece of card. That's really important, and I want to show you how easy it is to do. And do you know what? I'm going to apologise in advance because what I'm trying to do is line it up without leaning over it, so all you can see is the top of my head. But I'm going to have to do that. I'm sorry. And I'm going to suggest that you do that at home too, because it's really crucial that you get over the top of what you're stamping so you can see that it's lined up. So I'm going to pop on that on my 45-degree angle again there. I'm going back in with my lightest colour, inking that up. Okay, push this down for the first layer of colour, and with my stamping platform I get a really quick and easy impression there. Pop that back on my carrier sheet, come back to that in a second. Layer 2. Line that up exactly in the same place. Make sure I've got it on the 45-degree angle. This is where I need to apologise because I'm going to lean over and look to make sure I've got it lined up lovely. And you don't need to see that, but unfortunately there's no other way of doing it. Right, let's get that on the 45-degree angle there. Lovely. And then I need to get this over here so I can see it. That looks good to me. There we go. Ta-da! There we are. That's brilliant. So there's a top tip for you guys. You need to make sure that you lean over so that you can see what you're doing. So that's layer 2. Now I need layer 3. So this is my third stamp in the set. So every set has 3 different stamps, and they're a full 6x4 in size. So now I'm going to just line this up in exactly the same place I had it before, following that 45-degree angle, following my grid line so I've got it nice and straight. Take my third colour, my darkest colour now with my quick dry dye, ink this up. And then lean over it again so you can see where you're going. Make sure that you've got it all lined up lovely, and you can move it around if you need to. That looks good to me. Stamp it down, and then when we release that, that's how beautiful that result can be. Is that or is that not gorgeous? Now that is how every single one of those sets that I've just shown you work, and you can use it in your colour families of 3, which will be selling on HSN, which you can see there with your inks, your ink pads. So you'll be selling them in the colour families of 3 if you want to get those. But if you wanted all of them, all 36, which I've got here and I'm using in my ink pad tower, then that's going to be a web exclusive bundle. And don't forget the 2 bundles of stamps. You've got your Summer Garden collection and you've got your Floral Cascade collection. We're working with Summer Garden at the moment, and we're going to have a look at all of the designs so you can see those. Next, what I'm going to do is show you the difference between this one and then if you only use a couple of the stamps together, because you don't have to use all 3. Remember, on the packet, what we've done is say to you, this is what stamp 1 and 2 looks like. This is what stamp 2 and 3 looks like. What 1 and 3 looks like, and this one, what all 3 look like when you put them together. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is have a look at doing stamps 1 and 2 only. So I've got another piece of cardstock down here. And by the way, You know which one is stamp 1, stamp 2 and stamp 3 because we tell you on the front, so it's easy for you to identify them when you're looking at your different stamps. You'll be able to see which one is stamp 1, stamp 2, stamp 3 if you're wondering how I know which ones I'm putting together on here. Okay, so stamp 1 is the first one I used, which is this one. And that's another reason why it's good to pop it back on your carrier sheet. So that's stamp 1, that's that one, this is stamp 3. Let's get that one off there. Put that back on my carrier sheet so I know what I've got. And that's stamp 2. Okay, here we go. Stamp 1. Onto my stamping platform. Again, following the same rule, the 45-degree angles, and then ink that up. This is inking it up with my lightest colour ink. This is Pale Fig from the Purple collection. There we go. Layer 1. Back onto the carrier sheet so that it's really easy for you to locate which is which. And this time we were doing stamp 1 and stamp 2. So the next one, stamp 2, onto my stamping platform here. This stamping platform is absolutely essential for doing this work because you can see you can get a lovely, especially when the background layering stamps like this that are going to tessellate, so you can get a lovely straight edge to them, so it makes it easy when you're lining them up. Put that there, and then we're going to hover, get that in the right place, which it is. Stamp. There we go. So that's what it looks like with 1 and 2. Now what we're going to do is just a quick clean up in between, get the ink off because I'm going to get lovely inky fingers. I'm sure you'll forgive me for that. And also, guys, I've got my iPad, so if you've got questions for me, please do pop them in the comments below and we'll have a little pause and I'll answer the questions for you, because I know that you love to be involved and ask about the ink pads and the stamps and everything else that's going on. So I'll be reviewing those when I've done these 3, and then we'll have a look at a couple of the other designs as well. So now we're going to have a look at doing stamp 2 and 3 together. So that's stamp 1, I don't need that. This is stamp 2. Need another piece of card. Got little bits of muck all over the place there. Another piece of cardstock. I've got very dirty fingers, which I'm sure you get too when you're stamping. So if I get the odd little fingerprint in, please forgive me. So now I've got stamp 2. And with stamp 2, I'm going to use only the middle and dark colours. So I've got my middle colour, which is Crushed Velvet, one of my very favourite in the Harmony range. Of course, it's purple. We love all things purple, do we not? Line that up. Wonderful. Now then, I'm going to get a baby wipe. There we are. Baby wipes are marvellous things when you're doing inking techniques, aren't they? For fingers and for cleaning. Peel that off. And then we're going with layer 3 now. So you see how I'm just interchanging in between layer stamp number 1, stamp number 2, stamp number 3 to get lots of different results. So the first one I did stamp 1, layer 1, 2 and 3, stamp 1, 2 and 3 together. Then I did stamp 1 and 2. Now I'm doing stamp 2 and 3. And then we're going to do stamp 1 and 3. And we're going to have a look at the difference, the 4 different results we've been able to achieve by just using those 3 stamps with our quick dry dye ink pads in different configurations. So just lining that up. Stamping it down. So this one is stamp number 1 and 3. Oh, Look at the difference. Oh my word. Isn't that fabulous? Was that stamp 2 and 3? So what have I done here? Oh, that's stamp, no, right. So this is stamp 1 and 2. This is 1, 2 and 3. 1 and 2. 2 and 3. Now I'm going to do 1 and 3. Oh my word. This is fabulous, isn't it? Look at all of the different, this is amazing. One set of stamps laid up in different orders with stamp 1, stamp 2, stamp 3. That's why I keep telling you to put them back on your carrier sheets. You can tell which stamp's which if it's not on the carrier sheet, but it just makes life so much easier for you if that's how you keep them. And then pop them back in their little packet and you know which stamps you're working with. So now I'm going to get another piece of card. And my final one is going to be stamp 1 and 3. So let's pop them to the side for a minute because I'll have a look at them in a moment. Got my thing. Now I'm going back to stamp 1. And then I'm going to check my little Facebook. I'm going to have a chat for a couple of minutes because I'm interested to know what you think of this as a concept, whether you love it as much as me. I adore it, I have to say, I really do. So this is stamp 1, and this is the palest colour, pale fig, from the set of 3. I tend to keep the inks in the same number format as the layers. So stamp 1 always is the lightest colour, stamp 2 is always the middle colour, stamp 3 is always the darkest colour. Do you know what? You'll get many different configurations and different looks by changing that up. I just like to do that for me. However, if you change that and make it the opposite way, you'll get a different look again. So then not only will you get 4 different results, but with each range of 3 stamps and 3 ink pads, you'll get 12 different results. Possibilities with these are truly, truly endless, just with the way that you're layering them up. And then I'm going to show you how they tessellate as well. So this is stamp 1 and 3. So that was stamp 1. This is stamp 3. Yep, stamp 3. And so stamp 3 goes with the darkest ink pad, colour light, medium, dark, 1, 2, 3. That's how I do it for me. To remember, you don't have to do it like that. You can mix that up if you want to. You don't have to stick in that way, but that's how I see that I get the best results from the contrasts between the two. So just doing exactly as I did before, having a look over there, lining it up, stamping that on top. Oh, that might be my favourite. Oh, look at that. I'm going to pick these all up and show you. Look at that. That is off the chart fabulous. Right, so what you've just watched me do is use 3 different stamps. Put them in the order so you can see them. Right, you've just seen me use 3 different stamps. Layer 1, layer 2, layer 3. And with those 3 different stamps and these 3 ink pads, what we've been able to achieve is, firstly, all 3 stamps together, layer 1, layer 2, layer 3. Looks beautiful. You've got that lovely depth and dimension between the light, the medium and the dark colour. Then we did stamp 1 and 2. Look how different that looks to that. Let's line them all up on there here so you can see how different they are. Stamp 1 and 2 together. Look, very different look to that. Much more soft. Then we did stamp 2 and 3 together. So you can see we've got the colours in a very different place to here, and that looks different to that, looks different to that. Then we did, I think, my favourite, stamp 1 and 3 together, where you've got the light tone outlined with that lovely dark tone. So 1 packet of stamps, our fabulous butterfly bouquet range of stamps, and just using 3 of your Harmony Quick Dry and putting them in different configurations, look at what you've been able to achieve. How totally fabulous is that? And you've got 2 different sets that our star is bringing to you. You've got the Summer Garden collection, of which this is 1, and then you've also got the Floral Cascade collection. I'm going to try and find time to stamp them all so you can see them. But before we move on and have a look at a different way or a different stamp so we can see what they look like, we'll start mixing up some different colours as well. Let me put those ones back in here. I'm interested to know what you think of our quick dry ink pads and these fabulous stamps. So I'm going to bring my little iPad over and we'll have a look at what you've got to say, and then we'll have a look at some of the other ways you can use them, because I want to show you how you could tessellate them as well. Right, so just trying to find the little video. I tell you what, the gremlins in here today are great. Here it is. Found it. Oh, here we go. Right. So, hello, Laurie. Really nice for you to join us. Hello, Angela. Angela Harris, 1 and 3 is my favourite also. It just is, isn't it, Angela? It's beautiful. Okay, what else have we got on here? We've got, 2 sets. We've got somebody thinks they're lovely. 1 and 3 looks lovely. Lucy, thank you, Lucy, for that. Everybody's just saying that they're beautiful and they love them and that they're versatile. And many of you are agreeing with me that 1 and 3 is the best. That's great. So I'm going to let you keep commenting there and we'll come back to that in a little while. Cynthia says, I would love to get those quick dry ink pads, but they're all sold out. Coming back at the end of the month, Cynthia. They will definitely be there in their sets of 3 on the shows with our stamps. You'll be able to get them. But then also, if you want all 36, there will be a web exclusive bundle on HSN so that you can get all 36 of the ink pads when our Sarah goes over there at the end of the month to be able to do the shows. And she's over there. Trying to remember the date. Never mind, it'll come back to me. Okay, it'll come back to me in a second. Okay, so now we're going to have a look at how to use them in a different way. So that was the butterflies. Now, remember I said about them tessellating. So if you've got a long piece of paper or card, you can see here I did stamp 1, 2 and 3 there. And then I've done stamp 1 here ready. So now all you have to do is stamp 2 and 3. So stamp 2 and 3 is the next 2. I'm just making sure I've got the right ones, looking at my little thing. Nope, that's layer 1. There we go. See, it's really good, even though you've got them on your carrier sheets, to keep checking your packaging. I'll just show you what I keep doing. I keep looking at these 3 pictures here and comparing it to the stamp that I'm using. And I'll just put a piece of white card behind you so you can see what I'm doing. What I'm looking at when I do this is, where are the solid flowers? And I can see the solid flowers are on here, so I know that that's stamp 2. It just helps me pick the right stamp up every time. And I would highly recommend that you do that too. So smooth that out of the way. Grab our stamp platform. Lay this up exactly as we've been doing. No difference in the technique. Just make sure you follow your grid lines. Pick up the colour of ink pad that corresponds with the layer of stamp that you're stamping on there. So this is stamp 2, so it's the middle colour, ink colour number 2. Then I'm going to, and I'm probably going to have to lean over, but I'm going to lean over to line this up. Apologies, guys. I think that's layer 2. That's layer 2 on there now. I thought it was lining up exactly, so we'll do layer 1 first. We'll do it again on another piece of card. I obviously got carried away with that one when we were doing it. Let me get another piece of big card to show you. Here it is. And then we can just show you with one layer how they'll tessellate. And that'll make it easier. Right, so this is layer 2. And I'm going to use my, let's get layer 1. Do you know what? I'm going to show you with a different image. And then you get an idea of what they're all like. So let's start with our bees in the border. I love this one, bees in the border. So that's number 1. That's number 2, I think. Let's work that out, yes, and that's number 3. Good, right. So layer 1 with our bees in the border. Should we use some different colours on this one as well? Let's go with the yellows and browns. So this is where you can mix colours up between the sets. So what I'm going to use here is a nice yellow, an orange and a brown. So I'm going to use from 3 different quick dry sets. The first one that you've just seen me do was using 3 colours as they come with the 3 purples in the range. This is going to use 3 different colours. So I've got my piece. I don't need a big piece. Let's get a little piece again. Here we go. Nice little bit of card. Line it up in exactly the same way as we did before. So, and I'm going to go with the nice yellow for layer 1 and add that, pink it up, lots of quick tapping. So this is Lemon Tonic from the Lemon collection. And also what you'll notice is on the packaging, we give you an indication of the colours. So we give you some suggestions of the colours to be able to get the result that you can see there. But you don't have to stick to them. You can use your own colours if you want to. I'm just following them so that you can see you can achieve these results at home as well, really easily. Okay, so line that up in the middle, that's layer 1. Stamp that down. And remember, with these, we can do exactly as you've seen me do with the butterflies, where we can do all the different combinations, layer 1 and layer 2, layer 3, layer 2 and 3, you get the drift. 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2, 2 and 3, and have I missed one? 3 and 1, which was our favourite, 1 and 3 even. So that's the 3. Now I've just put a stamp down somewhere. Can anybody see me stamp that I've just put down somewhere? Because I've lost it. Do you know what? I'm such a messy crafter. Here it is. It's hiding under the packet. I've found it. This is my layer 2. And so with my layer 2, I'm going to go with a nice orangey colour for this one, I think, because I think that'll be lovely. So let's go. And I might just use the honey pot, actually. Or, I might go bright orange. Should I go bright orange? Do you know what? Let's see what it looks like. Let's go bright orange. That's the butterfly one. What's happening here? Ah, I see. I put that on the wrong carrier sheet. That's not helpful, is it, Leanne? This is why, so you be very organised at home when you've got them and get all your carrier sheets in the right place, because it'll be so much more helpful for you, rather than having them upside down, putting things on the wrong place. But I'm doing this speed crafting to try and show you all the images. Now then, I think the Crafty Fairy has mixed up the stamps in me pack. I'm just going to get another thing and clean this ink off, because I've got a stamp in here from a different layer, from a different set. Right, so now this one is, I've got that layer from Floral Cascade in with my flowers, which isn't good, is it? So let's get that out and have a look here. So that's that one. Here it is here, that one. Checking that they're right. Looking on the packaging. That's because when we've been playing with them earlier, that's better. That's better. That's the 3 I need. They're the 3 I need in that one. Now then, what did I do? Did I pick one up from another set? Goodness only knows. It might be me, because I'm rushing to try and show you all the things. But now I've got stamps everywhere, so I'm going to put that one there, that one there, that one out of the way. They're getting out of the way for now. I'm going to get a new piece of card. And then we're going to use these 3 stamps. Here. Right. Do you ever get confused like this in your craft room? I'm sure you do. I'm sure I'm not alone. Do you ever start doing something and then forget what it is you were doing? I do that all the time. Right, this now looks like it should look. So when we've been having to play with the stamps before, we've put the wrong one back in the wrong packet. This is why I keep saying, I'll say it again, make sure you keep your carrier sheets really clear so that you don't get them mixed up, your different layers, because you'll end up, you can work it out, but it's just too much effort. Too much effort. So if you keep them nice and organised and you keep putting your stamp back on your carrier sheet, when you've finished using it, then you won't get into the pickle that I just got myself into. And of course I did that to demonstrate to all of you at home why you need to keep putting your stamps back on your carrier sheet, and it needs to be a case of do as I say, not as I do. So here we go. First layer going down. I thought I was losing the plot before, and I mean I know I'm losing the plot, but I really thought I had lost the plot completely. There we go. So there we are, first layer down. So now taking that off, putting it on its carrier sheet the right way up for layer 1. And by the way, everybody, if you're wondering, well, how the dickens do I know why I keep saying put it back on its carrier sheet, can I just show you this? On the carrier sheet, look what we've done. Number 1. Number 2. Number 3. So if you keep putting them back on your carrier sheet, you're never going to get confused. Not like me, whipping things off and throwing them all over the craft room just for speed. That's not good. Right, so now that's layer 1 back on its little carrier. Layer 2. pull that off. Layer 2, we're going to go with a nice orangey colour, which is what we were going to do before. Actually, I'm going to go with a brighter yellow because we've got a bee in here and bees aren't orange. So we're going to go with a nice brighter yellow. What colour's that one? Honey pot. Let's ink this one up and then we'll go with a brown finally, which will be nice. Let's ink up the honey pot. Lovely. Line it up. Stamp it down. Oh, beautiful. Oh, it's lovely. And put that back on its sheet. Look how good I'm being now. Layer 2 going back on. Layer 3, let's get a nice browny colour. I'm going to go with like a nice tan brown, I think. I think that would be lovely. So let's get that one off the sheet. There we go. Layering it up. Making sure I'm following my straight lines. This is Friar Brown from one of the brown collections, which will be lovely just to pick out the little details in the bee and all the little details in the flowers going around. So Friar Brown, and your quick dry dyes are really important for these stamps so that you can get them, all of the layers, layered up one after the other really quickly without having to worry about drying time in between. Okay, layer that one up, stamp, and there we go. Look how fabulous that is. Is that not truly, truly beautiful? And you can see there what we could have done is exactly the same as we did with our butterflies earlier. So we could do, and that's what we've done there, look, layer 1, layer 2, layer 3 all together to get that lovely result. And then we've got layer 1 and 2, layer 2 and 3, layer 1 and 3. So for all of those those stamps, you could put them in the same configuration and get all of those different looks that you see me get with that butterfly one to start with. Now I want to show you some tessellating, and then we will also have a look at some questions from you on the little Facebook as well. So just before I do the tessellating with a different design again, let's have a look at what we're saying on the little book of faces here, and then we'll have a look at that. So if I bring over my iPad, see what everybody, oh, lost you there. Let's see what everybody's saying. Okay, here we are. They're all beautiful. Well, thank you. I don't think I've ever seen background. Dawn says, I don't think I've ever seen background layering stamps. How cool. They really are cool. And don't forget, these are just a stamp like any other stamp. So what you can do is use them with your Harmony ink pads as well if you want to, and start to drag out the colour as you've seen me do on lots of Harmony demonstrations, the water blendable, the water reactive ones. You could spritz them if that's what you want on watercolour card. So it doesn't have to be about these precise images that you can see me doing here with a quick dry, although that's why we developed them. However, when you bring in your Harmony water reactive ones, you can start to build up lots of different techniques and use the two together. Looks exceptional. Everybody loves 1 and 3. Loves 1 and 3. Here we go. Oh, and we're on HSN on the 27th and 28th of March. Love your hint to look at the package. Definitely do that and keep them back on their carrier sheets. That's really important. So everybody's really just loving these and can't wait to see them. They are. And of course, the quick dry dye ink pads are going to be back in stock on HSN when we're on the 28th. You're going to be able to get them in their individual sets of 3, as well as these 2 bundles of stamps that we've got here, which are our butterfly bouquet. And that's these two, the 2 that you've just seen me using. And butterfly bouquet is that beautiful one with the little bees in the background there. He's really lovely, isn't he? That's the one I've just stamped. And then that butterfly one that you seen me do earlier, that's in floral bouquet. In floral cascade, you've got this beautiful lily design, which you can see. Fabulous lilies on there. And then you've also just got that really, really lovely floral as well. Beautiful. So I'm going to use the lilies now from our floral cascade collection, and we're going to stamp them onto a bigger piece of cardstock. So you can see what I mean by tessellate. So let's clean all this up, including my hands. clean it, because there's nothing worse than being a mucky crafter. There we are. Now then, let's get these 3 sets of lilies here, and we've got, now remember, top tip, put your package in front of you so you can see which is your layer 1, which is your layer 2 and layer 3. The other thing I want to mention to you is on your carrier sheets, guys, look, can you see how they're all 3 different colours? Layer 1 is a lighter colour, layer 2 a little bit darker, layer 3 black. So you can indicate from your carrier sheets with the different colours which is layer 1, 2 and 3, but then you can also see, if I turn those over for you, just to remind you, layer 1, layer 2, layer 3. That's another really important reason for you to keep putting it back on your carrier sheet. Not that you wouldn't be able to work it out, of course you would, but it just makes it quicker and easier for you. And it saves all the confusion, makes the fun of crafting better, because you're just enjoying the fun of crafting. You're not having to worry about which is the right layer to be putting down first. So let's go with, we're going to go with our pinks on this one, I think. Or maybe should I go blue? Should I do blue? Oh, blue, I think blue will be nice. So we give you the selection of pink on here, or the suggestion of pink, but this will just show you where actually you can go rogue. You don't have to stick with the colours as they've been suggested. You can do any colour you like. So we're going to do blues. So I'm going with my Oasis to start with. I think these are the turquoises actually. I love turquoise. So let's stamp down colour number 1. There we go. And I'm going to stamp this at the top of my piece of card here. Let's get it in there. Lovely. Right, so that's layer 1. And then I'm going to ink up layer 1 again. This is why I love them being background layering stamps, and not just being about layering, but about tessellating as well. And tessellating means working alongside each other. So I'm moving that down a little bit because that's what would happen with a fabric design. Let me just explain that. I'm going to get the carrier sheet to explain it. It'll be more obvious for you. So that's the first layer that I've put down there, and you can see from above how fabulous that is. There you go. And then if I get the carrier sheet, if I just put this alongside now, I've got gaps here. Can you see that? Gaps in the design. But if I move that down, can you see how they, helps if you get the flower the right way up, Leann. Can you see how they'll interlock so that you can start to tessellate the design and it becomes seamless? And you can move that down and fill it all in. So you can start to really build up beautiful patterns. If I just did it like that, I've got gaps. If I bring it down and meld it in like that, I can start to build up offset pattern designs, so my own background papers, and I can just build them up as well from top to bottom. So you can do it vertically, you can do it horizontally, but you can also do it vertically. Probably need a little bit more ink on here, and then I'm just going to show you once more from up above, because I think it's much easier to see with the carrier sheet. I'm about to stamp that on here. Look, can you see how that half a flower at the bottom there, at the top there, matches up with the bottom? So now matches up with the bottom of that stamp. So now I'm going to be able to join this up seamlessly and make a big long border of patterns. So not only are they fantastic and layerable, but you can start to join them up and really cover a full sheet to make your full big background papers if that's what you want to do. So a little bit more ink on here, and then I'll show you how that's easy to line up. Right, so we've got this one again, and then I'm just looking at the bottom of that flower, getting it in the position that I want. I need to lean over the top, so sorry if you can see. There we go. And then stamp that down. Lovely. And what we should have, and we have, is a seamless pattern all the way down. How fantastic is that? And then we can go with our layer 2. Let's do layer 2 quickly for you. Layer 2, or should we just go 3? Because we just liked 1 and 3, didn't we? And you've seen all the layers 1, 2 and 3. You don't need to see me doing that a million times. Let's just do layer 3 over the top so I can show you how you can join it seamlessly. Brilliant for big projects and doing your own background paper, is it not? Being able to join those up. And every single one of these stamp designs that you've seen me using, and all 4 of them that are coming to HSN, they all work in this way. So they all have a tessellating pattern so that you can join them up like this seamlessly down the side of your paper, which is brilliant. So this is layer 3, and this is the darker turquoise, because we all voted on Facebook that we like layer 1 and layer 3 the best together. So let's just move this down. And I'm going to have to get over the top of it again, so apologies guys. Just so I can get that in the right place. Okay, there's layer 3 gone down. Oh, that is beautiful. And then we're going to do it again. And we're going to join it up at the bottom so we get a lovely seamless pattern all the way down. This could go on a massive piece of paper. If you're a fabric stamper, if you're into your fabric crafting, it could absolutely be your fabric crafting as well. So now I need to get over the top of it again. I'm going to line that up for my layer 3, just there. There we go. Oh, missed a bit. Let's just catch that. In that little corner there. There we go. How fabulous to be able to build up in a big panel like that, tessellating that design all the way down. Every single one of these stamps works in the same way. So the same with your butterfly, you can tessellate them all the way down. You can then do all of your different configurations. Don't forget, you can do your layer 1, 2 and 3 together. You can do your layer 2 and 3 together. You can do your layer 1 and 3 together, and your layer, whichever is the other number that I've forgotten. So 4 different results, 4 very different results with one set of 3 stamps, but not only can you get those 3 results like that, you can tessellate them, build them up down the page to get a beautiful, big, full border panel like that. Use them with your quick dries, use it with your Harmony Water Reactive, so many different things you can do. Quick check on here to see if you've got any questions for me. Right, so what was somebody here talking about me Crafty Fairy? The Crafty Fairy wants to keep you on your toes. You're an extra messy crafter. It must be a craft disaster. It usually is a craft disaster when I'm in the room. You're absolutely right. Thank you for that, Mike. Now then we've got new on the right, new stamp, brilliant. Everybody loves them. Just clean my craft room. Use a Sharpie and mark stamps 1, 2 and 3. You could write that on the actual stamp if you wanted to, but actually just keep putting them back on the carrier panel and then you won't have any problems. These would make wonderful Easter cards and spring cards. Yes, they would. And, you know, everybody just saying how much they love them. So brilliant that you've joined us and that you really liked seeing how fabulous our background layering stamps are going to be with our Sarah on March the 28th. Over there on HSN. Don't forget that we're going to have our quick dry dye ink pads back in stock. You're going to be able to get them in their single packs of 3, and you're also going to be able to get them as a web exclusive bundle on the day when she's there. Don't miss out on getting your stamps. Just a quick reminder of what some of the cards are like you can create if that's what you'd like to do. So these are the little cards that we've done, where you see we've used some of our Harmony Water Reactive in the background as well to get that lovely colour, or maybe stamped on some background papers if you want to too. That's doing the 3-layer technique that you've just seen me do with the purple. A little bit of Harmony Water Reactive blended in the background once these quick dry dyes are on there, because they dry quick and you can do that. You can see there with the pinks with a little bit of just a background colour in there. We've got monotone with the brown lilies on there, which looks fabulous. Just really easy to use and simple, and loads and loads of versatility. The fact that you can do this big panel is truly exceptional, is it not? And I think you're going to have so much fun with them. 4 different looks from one set of 3 stamps, many more if you use different colours, and tessellate them vertically and horizontally. I mean, blow your mind, make your own backing papers. That's all I've got to say on those. I hope you've enjoyed this little live. I've really enjoyed showing you because I adore these stamps. There's so much versatility with them. They're going to be with our Sarah on HSN even on March the 28th. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm sure you are too. So take care, lots of crafty love and hugs, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.